Hello, guys. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Thought for Thursday. I had to think for a second. I forgot what I was doing. I was thinking I recorded something earlier, so I was thinking that it was something. I was doing something else, y'all. Okay, I'm happy to see Thursday. I need a weekend, right? I know. I feel it. I feel it. I definitely need a weekend. And I bet you guys do too. I hope you've had a great beginning of the week. Um, and I hope that you have done some things to better yourself. I hope that you've done some things that's focused just on you this week, because you know what? That's something that we need to do more of. That whole self care piece is very, very real. And I know if you're tuned in any way to social media, you know where things are politically right now and where we are in the world. So, in addition to praying and making sure that we cover that, we also have to cover our mental, cover our physical, and just believe that all of this is going to work out, right? Absolutely. So, I didn't even give you a hint about what we were going to talk about today, but nonetheless, I am here for Thought for Thursday for just a few minutes. And if you watch anything that I do, you know that I always talk about being authentically yourself, being confident in what you do, and realizing that, that only you have to offer what's unique about you, and the world needs it. And I talk about it all the time, and I encourage people to do it because so frequently we kind of shy back from being our real selves. We just do. It depends on our environment sometimes. There is an assessment that I frequently do in one of my programs. It's a DISC assessment, which really kind of takes a look at personalities and a number of things. But one thing that it looks at, it talks about adapted behavior versus the natural behavior. And a lot of times when people take this assessment, they're really surprised to find out, well, I kind of adapt when I'm in work. I don't quite act like my natural behavior. It's like they're not just the same. And then there are other people where they find out, yeah, I kind of act the same way at work that I do at home. And that's what we want to do, but then we also realize that frequently we do have to adapt because of our environment, because of the culture, because of, where it is that we're going and what it is that we're doing. However, what I still want to encourage you to do is to remember that you are unique for a reason, and have the courage to cultivate your uniqueness, tongue tied. So have the courage to go out and be uniquely yourself. So, that sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, have the courage to go out and be me, and to do the things that I want to do, and present ideas when I feel like some people may not really think that they're all that creative and all that good. So go ahead and take the chance of putting something out there that could be shot down. It takes confidence to be you sometimes, but it's so worth it, because like I said, we're not designed to be all the same. We are uniquely designed with unique functions and a unique purpose. And we're not all here to do the same thing and to be the same people. So it is imperative to me that I go out there and be me, because otherwise God would have designed me another way, right? Why would he design me this way for me to be another way? It just rationally doesn't make sense. So, what are some of the things that we can do? Okay. What is it that we can do that's going to help us to have the courage to be ourselves, to be brave enough to be ourselves? And I already said that this can really seem daunting and frightening, because it means you're opening yourself up. You're letting people see the real you. And usually we kind of like to shield ourselves from that, and shield others from seeing that to a certain extent. But imagine what it might be like if everyone truly knew who you are, who you truly, truly are inside and out, and and the wonderful things that you're capable of. I mean, they may know some of these things, but how if they really, really knew, and it could be great for people to find out exactly who you are and what you have to offer the world. Living with originality, it's going to take some courage, but the rewards far outweigh the penalties, okay, that you're hiding your inner self. Okay, the penalties of you hiding your inner self. So, what are some of these things that you can do to cultivate your originality? Be aware of who you are inside. Okay. You know, this may take some thought for you, particularly if you're in an environment where you're kind of having to feel like you have to adapt a certain way. So it may take some work for you to really stop and think, well, who am I really? And if you spend, like I said, all day working and all night watching TV where social media is telling you you need to look or you need to be or you need to do a certain thing, then that really clouds your mind as to who you actually are and can start to make you feel like, well, maybe if I am a certain way, well, there's something wrong with me. When really you need to focus in the total opposite way. It's right with you. That's how society wants you to look, but that doesn't necessarily mean that is the way you should be. So you may need to just take some time and sit down and think about the things that are real important to you. You know, um, think about the fact that of what makes you act silly at times. Don't shy away from that. You to have fun in life. Your true personality needs to come out and needs to be appreciated. Okay. So that's one thing. Be aware of who you are inside. Cut out the TV, turn off what you have to do at work, turn off what you have to do when you go out in certain environments, and just spend some time with yourself to sit down and look and say, hey, well, this is really who I am. This is what makes me happy. This is what I enjoy doing. This is what comes naturally to me. Okay. So, what's something else that you can do to cultivate your originality? Express yourself freely. Okay. Now, I know with some of us, it may not be the best idea to say everything that comes into our heads because, at no given time is everybody always thinking great thoughts. All right. Let's just put that out there. And for some people, it's real easy to think, well, this is how I really feel. All right. And how you really feel about a situation and being totally honest about it. But you have to kind of season your word with salt. Okay. So you don't need to say everything that comes into your head. Make sure that you balance, what you say. You don't want to hurt people, but you also want to give your true opinions. You don't want to give the opinions of others. You want people to know who you are, how you feel, and for that reason, you have to take the chance of putting that information out there. It's scary. I know, right? It's scary for people to really know what you're thinking sometimes because you don't know if they're going to approve of it, how they feel about it. But then you have to stop and think, well, should it be the most important to? It should be most important to you. Okay. Give your opinions without judging yourself, especially when you're asked for them. And that's the other thing. When you're asked to truly give your opinion, you really ought to focus on giving it based on the way you feel and what you really think. Let people know, let people know if something's not kind in your mind. Let them know if it's something that you truly love and they may think it's something that's not worthwhile. Make your opinion known because you know why? There's somebody who is actually going to agree with you, even if they don't say it. Particularly if you know that without a shadow of a doubt that you're right about something and you're standing up for something right, okay? and everybody else is going along with whatever other people say because it's the popular thing. And we I talk to young people about this all the time. It's hard for a young person to stand up and be uniquely themselves and speak their true mind, particularly when society and their friends may be telling them otherwise. But that is something that you have to do so that you can cultivate your creativity. What's a third thing? It falls in line with what I was just saying about going ahead and speaking your mind and focusing more on how you feel and not what others may think. And it says just that: avoid worrying about others' opinions. Like I said, the big secret is they're probably worried about what you're thinking of them too. Okay. So don't worry so much about what they think about you. Focus on being you, and then being bodaciously, authentically you, so that you can be proud of who you are and proud of the fact that you're putting yourself out there and you're not trying to look or be like anybody else. All right. Cultivate your uniqueness. Know who you are. Express yourself freely, and don't worry about the opinion of others, because ultimately it is your opinion that matters the most in what you think and who you are. Okay. Um, Lastly, just be yourself and consider who you are with. All right. Consider your circle. If you frequently find people putting you down for who you are, you need to reevaluate who is in your tribe, because in order to actually do the things and be the person that you want to be, you need people who are around you who are going to appreciate that. You need people who are going to understand who you are. And if they don't, that's okay too. But you have to realize that when you have people that are gnawing at who you truly are, then you don't need to be in the presence of those people on a regular basis. You may have to at times. I'm especially thinking about when you're putting yourself in environments where you have to go out and do some work, or, participate in a project or something. You don't always get to pick the people that you have to interact with. But the important thing is you remember that you have to choose to be you, because when the rubber meets the road and when everything is said and done, it is you that you have to be happy with. All right. You have to be happy with yourself. People who conform can never really stand out unless they're in extraordinary circumstances. Okay. So I always talk about being confidently you because of that thumbprint that you have. You've got to cultivate that. And you can't stand out if you're conforming to everything that everybody else is saying and doing. So be bold, be confident in who you are. Cultivate those things. It may be something that you have to practice, particularly if you've had to be somebody else for so long. And then you wonder why life does not seem so fulfilling to you. It's because you're moving and you're going around, dictated by what society and other people tell you that you should be, and what you should do, and that does not make you happy, and that leads to a very unfulfilled life, and a life that's really not one that's in pursuit of purpose. A purpose filled life is one where you are uniquely being you, where you're cultivating that on a regular basis, and you are making sure that that uniqueness that you have, that is there for a reason, is being used by you and used in the world, and going out and doing the things that it needs to help to get accomplished in the world, the things that the world is waiting on. Cultivate your uniqueness. All right. That's all I wanted to say today. I wanted to pop on real quick and tell you that. Tell you again, I always say go out and be yourself, but I'm trying to tell you today how you can cultivate that and focus on doing that if you're having problems because you've had to conform to something else for a long time. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining on Instagram. I see you. I'm going to come over here because I say all the time I don't multitask very well. Hey Lillian, how are you? Good to see you, LaShawn. Good to see you. Well, listen, guys, that's it. I promise Thought for Thursday in 15 minutes. So that's something to give you to think about. I just gave you something for today and for the rest of the week, and something for you to think about for a lifetime. Think about the importance of being you and cultivating that uniqueness that makes you who you are. All right? That's it. Go out. Have a great evening. Be boldly, confidently yourself with that imprint that you have that the world is waiting on, the answers that you're bringing. All right. That's it. Y'all have a good one. Thanks.